The death is announced of Elizabeth James, also known as Mahilary Frances Mormom of Mondudor, who passed away at her daughter's residence on Saturday, 2nd March 2013, at the age of 63 years. Left to mourn, her husband, Kenneth James, taxi driver number TX210 of Mondudor, Castries. Sons, Timothy James, employee at Wasco; Mervyn James, employee at CIBC First Caribbean Bank; Marcus James, electrical inspector at Ministry of Infrastructure and Port Services; Kenneth James Jr., student at Grambling State University, Louisiana. Daughters, Ruth Mitchell, employee at ECFH; Joanna Melicia James, employee at ECFH. Son-in-law, Steve Mitchell, businessman of Bonte Gardens. Daughters-in-law, Dr. Merlene Fredericks James, Chief Medical Officer; Gasha James, employee at G4S Secure Solutions. Sisters, Annette Daisy, residing in London; Delia Joseph, also known as Mersois, a vendor by the Grosley Primary School; Magdalene Fede, also known as Lynn, of Ancillary; Aura Georges, also known as Uranda, of Ancillary; Mary Fede, of Ancillary; Camilla Fede, employee of Ancillary Primary School. Brothers, Andrew Fede, also known as Cocoman, employee of Tropical Builders. Granddaughters, Timika James, student of Dame Paulette Louise Primary School; Kyria James, student of Sir Arthur Lewis Community College; Melanie James, student of the Ave Maria Primary School; Jaden James, student of Eucharist Lewis Primary School; Janika James, student of New Discoveries Preschool; Rochelle James, student of the Vidbutay Secondary School; Joy Mitchell, student of St. Joseph's Convent. Grandsons, Marcus James Jr., student at Corinth Secondary School; Darren James, student at Dame Paulette Louise Primary School; Stephen Mitchell, student at St. Mary's College. Adopted grandson, Marlon Malik Mafra, residing in New York. Uncles, Lawrence and Vernon Degazo of Monsieur Choiseul; Boy Degazo of Soufrière; Lenny and Gerard Joseph of Babono. Aunts, Mariana and Ninan Degazo of Choiseul. Nieces and nephews, Salvia Justin, employee at Ministry of Youth and Sports; Felicia Joseph Estava, teacher at Grosley Preschool; Elijah Joseph, residing in Trinidad; Dave Fede of Ancillary; Martin Fede of Ancillary; Melinda and Verna Fede of Ancillary; Alvina Fede, residing in Canada; Digna Georges, employee at Hobbies; Chad Georges, residing in Barbados; Mervyn Georges, residing in Canada; Neil Georges of Ancillary; Peter Fede, employee at the Electoral Department; Tyson Fede, employee at Solar Dynamics; Melvin and Kelvin Fede of Ancillary; Orichel Fede of Ancillary; Myrisha, Herman Jr. and Maria Charles of Ancillary; Brad Fede of Ancillary; Curry and Carlin Fede of Ancillary; Lee and Anelia Minville of Ancillary; Shannon Stephen, employee at Rendezvous Hotel; Abner Stephen, employee of Roving Caregivers; Alicia, Zephaniah, Chatal, Sandra and Wayne Stephen of Ancillary; Azia Martel and Naeem Fede of Ancillary; Danny Charles of Ancillary; the children of Annette Daisy, residing in the UK. Also left to mourn, Eugenie Descat of Beausejour Grosley; the children of the deceased Bethel Degazo of Lacaille and Estefan of Castries; the Golden Girls of Bethel Tabernacle; the members of Bethel Tabernacle, Sanssouci; many other family and friends too numerous to mention. The funeral service of the late Elizabeth James, also known as Mahilary Frances Momom, will be held at the Bethel Tabernacle, Sanssouci, on Monday, 11th March 2013 at 2 p.m., and then to the Choc Cemetery for burial. The body now lies at Crick's Funeral Home Limited, Vide Bouteille.